Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dai, and today I am bringing you my Fall into Manga Love Readathon wrap-up, as well as a few other manga reads that I have read recently. So, the Fall into Manga Love Readathon was hosted by Shae over at ShaeGeeksOut from September 21st to the 27th. I will link her down in the description box in case you'd like to check her out and see when the next round of that readathon goes. It does go seasonally, I believe, at least spring and fall, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I know there are a couple of them during the year. They're called the Manga Love Readathons. Anyway, I wasn't able to participate in the previous one that she had this year, so I definitely wanted to get in on her readathon this fall. And so I was able to read quite a bit of manga. I haven't been reading a lot in general, books or manga. And it made me a little bit sad. I really wanted to get into reading more manga, and I thought this was going to be the perfect opportunity to do so. So she had a bingo board this year, and it had a few prompts on it, and I did go ahead and create my TBR based on those prompts, but as always I diverged from my TBR, and so I will let you know what I did read as well as what I continued to read after the readathon, because I was just like in the manga reading mood. So let's get into it. I'll start off with Haikyuu, and I'm not going to tell you which prompts that I read these volumes for, because like I said, I diverged from my TBR and then I didn't stick to the bingo board prompts at all. I just decided to read as much manga as I could. And to further that, I just really wanted to read at least one volume a day, because one volume a day would be more manga than I've read in a really long time. So anyway, back to what I read. I read Haikyuu volumes 22, 23, 24, and 25. Now, I think I only read volumes 22 and 23 during the readathon, but I read volumes 24 and 25 after, and I really wanted to get caught up with the series to where we were when they went on hiatus for the fourth season of the anime. The anime is something that my family and I really enjoy watching. In fact, we did just complete another watch through of all the seasons that are available, and yesterday, the day that I'm filming this, the second half of the fourth season started, so we went right through to that episode. It was excellent, but I didn't get a chance to get caught up to where we were before the second half of the fourth season started. I was able to get through these. These do encompass events in what has already been revealed in the fourth season, and so I'm really enjoying it. So that is Haikyuu. I also read Kanka Bancho Otome volumes 1 and 2. This one's by Chie Shimada, and this one follows a girl who has trouble making friends. She kind of gets into fights a lot. But anyway, she's starting high school. She's going to her first day. She thinks, oh, this is going to be great. I'm finally going to be able to make some friends without my reputation following me around. And she runs into a boy. Runs into him hard enough where he says that he's injured, and oh my gosh, he's going to miss his entrance ceremony, and if he does that, he's going to be in big trouble. And then they look at each other and they look identical. So it turns out that this boy is her long-lost twin brother, and he's like, please go to my entrance ceremony for me. I'll go to yours in exchange. And she kind of gets blackmailed, I guess, kind of, into going to his school's entrance ceremony. So she goes ahead and does it. It turns out that the school that her brother is enrolled at is a school for delinquents, and the entrance ceremony is a big brawl. All of the first years are battling it out to see who the leader of the first years is going to be. So this duology follows her not only trying to keep her identity secret from all of the guys at the school, because the school is an all-male school, but also making friends and, you know, trying to get through the situations where she's challenged to a fight and things like that. I really enjoyed this duology. There were things that were brought up in regards to the family aspect that weren't fleshed out, and I'm really disappointed about that. There's a lot of questions that I have in regards to why she was away from her identical brother, why her family gave her up, and why she grew up in an orphanage and things like that. And there is also something else that's brought up in the second volume that I have questions on, and I didn't get any answers. This is based on a This is based on a visual novel, so I presume that maybe we get some of that if I was able to do a playthrough of the game. But as far as these two volumes go, it was very cute. I did really enjoy it. The art style is one that I definitely enjoyed. I went ahead and watched the anime of it as well. I watched it on Funimation. It is a 12-episode anime. The episodes are only about 8 minutes long, so it's really, really short. And it really only encompasses the events of this first volume. But it is also a little bit different from the story that's presented here. So definitely check this out if it sounds like something that you'd be interested in. I was able to talk to my friend Bizarre over at Bizarre Individual about this during the readathon. At the time, I had no idea that he was also reading this for the readathon, so it was really nice to talk to him about it. I will link him down in the description box below. And yeah, so Kanka Bancho Ultime, another series that I started and completed, really enjoyed it. I also got caught up with LDK, Living, Dining, and Kitchen, volumes 13 and 14 by Ayu Watanabe. This series follows these two people on the cover, Shusei and Aoi, and for reasons that get explained in the early volumes, they end up living in the same apartment. So this series follows them trying to hide the fact that they are living together from people at school and things like that, as well as the blossoming relationship between them, as you can tell between the covers of these two volumes. But I had thought that I was caught up with the series. This series does get released rather slowly, and so I thought I was caught up. I knew I had them. I thought I had read them, but when I went to go check my Goodreads, they said want to read still. I hadn't read them. There was no rating. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I really got to read these two, because volume 15 comes out in October. And so I read these. I really enjoyed it. I definitely enjoy most of Aoi's and Shusei. I always get that wrong. Aoi and Shusei's relationship. I do have a few issues with some things that has happened in previous volumes in regards to their relationship. But for the most part, I really enjoy seeing them together and watching them navigate this relationship. these 2 volumes also include some storyline about Shusei's older sister and one of their neighbors, so that was also refreshing as well. I really need to go back and reread a few more of these volumes because it's been a really long time since I stepped away from this series, and like I said, it gets released so slowly. I was a little bit confused when I jumped into volume 13, but it kind of came back to me. I do want to reread it just so that I'm a little bit more refreshed, but definitely still enjoy this series. I am collecting it and can't wait to see what volume 15 brings. So now let's talk about some digital manga. I ended up reading Peach Mermaid, which is by Haru Akebono. This is a 16 plus series that is a Kodansha digital first. And I had picked this up a while back when it was on sale. I pretty much only buy digital manga when it's on sale, just so you know. But I had heard about it on Shae's channel. It was a Thirsty Thursday selection. I think it might have been the first one, but I never read it. And one of the prompts on the bingo board was to read something that's out of your comfort zone. And I don't think there really is anything that is out of my comfort zone, but I decided to go ahead and read this series because I don't read a lot of smutty titles. I don't read a lot of titles that include smut, and since this was a Thirsty Thursday selection, I thought this would fit that bill. This one is a more older teen take on The Little Mermaid, where she needs to have the sex with the guy that she's interested in order to stay human. And yeah, it is 16 plus, but it is really geared more towards teenagers than adults. It wasn't far enough from the Little Mermaid story for me to really enjoy it. It was definitely entertaining. It was hilarious. I did enjoy watching the main male character and watching how his feelings towards the mermaid changed. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, I'm sorry. But I think the sweetest thing for me was watching how the main male character kind of grew as far as his feelings towards the mermaid, and how their relationship progressed through that. And I don't know that it would be one that I reread, even though I do own it. It is in my library, but it was enjoyable to read, and I'm glad I finally was able to get another series off of my shelf. So that was Peach Mermaid. Then, since I was already in my digital library, I went ahead and read Love Massage Melting Beauty Treatment by Toki Tsunazuka. This one, I only read the first volume. Peach Mermaid, I read all 3. But this one is also a 16 plus. It is about a woman, a single woman, who after a long, hard day at work, decides to call for an in-home massage. This is not something unusual for her, but instead of her normal female masseuse, she gets a male masseuse. And at first she's a little apprehensive about it, but then she decides to go ahead and just have the massage anyway because it's something that she really needs. And she ends up getting a little bit more than she paid for. And I'll just leave it at that. The next day, her masseuse shows up as her boss at her workplace. So this one, like I said, I only read the first volume. I have questions, like little feelings about the fact that I think maybe the guy might know this lady. And again, I don't remember the names at all, but things just happened a little too quickly for me to believe that they had just met. I don't know. At least on his part. For her, it felt a little different. But for him, it feels like there may be some kind of backstory where he might know her. I don't know. Either that or he just moves real quickly. But it was interesting. I did pick up volumes 2 and 3 recently on Kodansha's sale, and so I will be reading those probably in the near future just to see how I feel about this series. I think volume 7 of this series is coming out soon, but we'll see how it goes. It was okay. There wasn't enough that happened in the volume as far as character development, character introduction, for me to really know how I feel about this series yet. So I will let you know when I read more of that series. So then I went ahead and read My Pink is Overflowing, volumes 1 through 4 by Yuki Mino. This is also a 16 plus Kodansha digital first title. Again, another one that I heard of from Shae. All 3 of these digital titles I heard from Shae. And I definitely enjoyed My Pink is Overflowing. This one is about a girl or a woman who is really down on her luck in dating. She just never dates the right guy. The guys always either are two-timing on her, where she is the second person. She is the person that they're having an affair with. And she just is always picking guys like that. She ends up going to a mixer thinking, okay, you know, what's the harm that can come of me trying to go out there and find somebody new? And then she meets a guy, everything's going great, and he ends up being just like all of the other guys that she had dated. And so after she leaves that guy, shortly after the mixer, she runs into her boss, who, he's young. At least he looks young. I don't know what his age is, but they look about the same age. And she's been attracted to him. She really enjoys when he wears a white shirt. That's kind of his thing, or that's kind of her thing. And she runs into him. She's upset at the situation. She's upset with how she cannot find a guy that is actually good, someone who's not dating anybody else when they hit on her. And so they get to talking, and she finds out that her boss has never dated anyone. He has never dated anyone because he believes dating is only for marriage, and so, or dating should be done with marriage in mind. And anytime he presents that idea to a potential girlfriend, they run away. They don't want to date him. They're not ready for that type of commitment. But our main character looks at it differently. This is something that she has kind of already decided that she wants. She wants to date a guy that has no experience. And this guy sounds perfect. And she says, please date me. You know, I realize that you only want to date people with marriage in mind, and I am okay with that. Let's date. And so this story follows them navigating their relationship, not only with him being inexperienced and them experiencing things for the first time together and kind of hiding it from the other employees, though I don't think they're doing too good of a job with that, because I think the employees do know that they're dating. But this one I thought was really cute. I thought it was done at 4 volumes. At least that's all that's available on Kodansha. That's all that's showing on Goodreads. But the end of volume 4 shows a preview for volume 5. So I don't know when that's coming out. I think volume 4 came out in October of 2019. And I can't find any information on if we're going to get volume 5. But the little teaser in the back of volume 4 really makes me interested to see what's going to happen next. So if we ever get volume 5, I'll definitely be continuing with this series. But I really enjoyed My Pink is Overflowing. And yeah, so that is all of the manga that I have read through the Fall Into Manga Love readathon to date, actually. So let me know if you participated in the Fall into Manga Love readathon and what you read, if you stuck to your TBR. And yeah, I really enjoyed it as always, and definitely look forward to participating in the next round. If you're interested in participating in another manga readathon, there is the Manga Freakathon coming out October 25th through the 31st. That one's being hosted by my friend Bazaar over at Bazaar Individual, Mama Loves Manga, and the Panda Post. And I will link Bazaar Individual's announcement video and TBR down in the description in case you're interested. They also have a bingo board, but this bingo board is for things that you should be looking for while you're reading your manga. And I participated last year. Last year was the first time they hosted it, and it was super fun. I'll definitely be participating. And like I said, definitely check out the announcement video down in the description box below, as well as the bingo board on Instagram. And yeah, that is all that I have for you today. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.